Meatball sandwiches. I consider them a staple in the diet of any good meat lover, and they're pretty high in the running for my favorite sandwich of all time. Now I'm going to show you how to make the very best meatball sandwich you've ever tasted, and it all starts with some homemade tomato sauce.
Now to get the ball rolling on this sauce, I have my stove set to about medium heat and 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the wok. There's some smoke coming off the olive oil now, so it's time to add 1 small onion, finely chopped, 1 small carrot, finely chopped, 1 celery rib with its leaves on, finely chopped, and 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley chopped. And just giving that a quick stir now. And I just need to set the stove to low. We'll put a lid on it and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, stirring it occasionally. Okay, the base for our sauce has been cooking long enough now that we can go ahead and add a couple of small garlic cloves, chopped. And we'll also throw in about a tablespoon of thyme. Stir all that together. Then we'll pour in 1 28-ounce can of tomatoes, whole with their juice, and 2 teaspoons of tomato paste, a pinch of salt, and a pinch of pepper. Okay, I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit and then start crushing these tomatoes because those are still whole and I want to make them, more sauce-like. I'm going to let that simmer for another 15 or 20 minutes. In the meantime, we can go ahead and get started on our meatballs. That's about a pound of lean ground beef, and we'll add 1 clove of garlic freshly minced, half a cup of chopped parsley, half a cup of grated Parmesan, 1 medium onion finely chopped, half a cup of breadcrumbs, 1 large egg beaten, about 3 tablespoons of red wine. Now I like this Cabernet Sauvignon because it has that nice meaty flavor to it. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. Okay, the sauce is done cooking now, so I'm going to turn the stove off, and we'll put the lid back on to keep it warm until we're ready to assemble the sandwiches.
All the ingredients for the meatballs are in place now, so it's time to mix them up.
Don't forget to wash your hands after you've been handling raw meat.
Okay, the meatball mixture is all mixed together now, so I just need to take that and form it into the actual meatballs. Now I'm going to try and do meatballs that are about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter.
Alright, what you're about to see me do is pick up some of this meatball mixture, form it into a ball, and then dredge it in this flour, and finally place it on this cookie sheet lined with wax paper.
Now, cooking the meatballs is a 2-stage process. First, we're going to fry them up in a cast iron skillet and then bake them.
I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees and also turn on the stove till it's about medium heat. And I'm going to christen my brand new cast iron skillet with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil.
Here's to boilers and the men who make them.
Oil's plenty hot now, so we're just going to add these meatballs to the pan and get them browned on all sides. Okay, we're going to put these meatballs in the oven for about 10 minutes at 375 degrees. In they go. It's a dining with Dave first. 3 people taking a Boilermaker. Here we go.
The Boilermaker trifecta.
Nice!
Okay, those meatballs are coming out of the oven now. We're going to assemble our sandwiches. Okay, we're just going to dig out our buns a little bit, our Hoagie Rolls, take out some of the excess bread. Alright, we're just scooping some sauce into the Hoagie Rolls now. We're going to put some meatballs on top of those and some cheese. Put it back in the oven, let the cheese melt, and these will be ready to go. Okay, we're adding some meatballs to the sandwiches now. Very important and crucial step of the meatball sandwich process. We're adding a little bit more sauce on top of the meatballs. Before we put these sandwiches back in the oven, we're just going to put some provolone cheese on there.
Alright.
Okay, these sandwiches are going back in the oven at broiler speed just for a minute or two, long enough to let the cheese melt. Billie Jean, my lover. Ow! She's just a girl, says that I am the one. I'm wearing a glove on one hand so I can pull these sandwiches out of the oven now, just like Michael Jackson.
That is a tasty sandwich. Holy crap.
How many stars out of 5 on those meatball sandwiches?
Well, Dave, your balls were very, very tasty, as always. I'm going 5.
I gotta give this at least 4.5 stars out of 5. My only complaint was that my bun was falling apart, and I don't think that was your fault, but it made it a little bit more difficult to get your balls in my mouth.
Dave, I give your balls a firm 5. Very hefty and delicious, fulfilling, and the garlic and it's so good.
Dave, I've got to give your balls a definite 5. I do agree with Derek that the bun fell a little bit apart, but your balls were just too delicious.
I've never done this before, but I'm going to have to give it 5 stars as well.
Just watched Dining with Dave, and I was so impressed with David's Boilermaker skills that I had to try it out for myself.
There you go.
Here's to you, Dave. Best episode yet.
We've had a fantastic time and a great Boilermaker for dessert. Meatball sandwiches. It's been fabulous. Thanks for watching.